Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last episode, we went ahead and worked on Luigi's mouth. And of course, we got his mouth working. La. Creepy, but effective. In this one, we're going to go ahead and tackle some other parts of the body. So if you go around and look at the body here, I recommend testing everything. Remember to test, the shoulder, make sure that bends. You can see we need to fix that. Go through, test all of your fingers, make sure they bend, and that there's no weird stuff happening there. And then of course the leg. So if I grab the leg and I move that, you can see that some parts of the pant leg go with it. So in this one, we'll go ahead and tackle the leg because it's going to be pretty quick. So I'll move the leg into position here. I'll just move it up so we can see what kind of things you're flexing. Okay. I'll go ahead and hit Q. I'll also select the body. Make sure I am in rigging. And then go to skin, and then come down to paint skin weight options. And close that. Okay. So if you take a look at this, you'll see that the part of the ankle is being pulled, but we have to figure out what is pulling it. So I come over to my menu, grab the various joints here, and you can see if I select the pelvis, you can see some of this is being pulled kind of toward the center. But I don't see anything from the pelvis on here. I'll jump down to the hip. You can see there's highlight on this side. And if I look over this way, I don't see anything from this leg being pulled to that. We should see white if it was. I'll go down to the knee here. And you can see on my character, my knee joint is pulling on the hem of the pants and the foot here. So I want to make sure that that's not going to happen. I'll go down to the ankle. You can see there's some there. And on the foot, there's some there. On the foot, I don't really see any over here, and none on the toe. Okay? So I'll go ahead and grab the knee. And this knee should have control over here, but it should not have control over there. So I'll scroll down. Let's go ahead and grab the replace option. I'm going to replace this with 0. And then I'll come over to the opposite foot here. B, and then drag to adjust my brush. And let's go ahead and just paint this off. And you can see as I'm painting it, it's going back to the original setting. Like so. Make sure I get all of them. Go around the foot, kind of grab everything. I'm going to turn my grid off just so it's easier for me to see. Okay, so that's painted off. I'm going to scroll down to the next joint. So here's the ankle. You can see the ankle has a little bit of pull. I'm going to go ahead and just paint this one down to 0 as well. Now, if you don't see any of the white on yours, go down the bones until you can see which bone is pulling the material. Or pulling the skin, rather. Okay. I'll go down to the foot, make sure there's nothing here. Toe, nothing there. Okay. And we should do the same thing for the opposite side. You can see that my leg is still being pulled here, but this one has been cleaned. I'm going to go and do the other side. So I'm going to bring this leg up. That way you can see what's being pulled. Go ahead and grit the skin and the skeleton. Open up the options here. I'm going to go down to the other leg. Grab the other knee. I'll just paint off the value. Okay, grab the ankle and go ahead and paint off the rest of that. Now remember that I'm on the right ankle painting on the left leg because my right ankle has some of the meat on the left leg. So in this case I'm doing opposite painting. Now usually you can go until you have like a visual clear. Like if it's visually all the way dark, you're probably fine. In my case, I'm kind of blind here, so it's hard for me to tell sometimes. So I'm just going to keep on going until I see no more movement. And that looks pretty good. Okay. I'll test the leg, make sure that nothing flexes and moves over here. Looks pretty good. Okay. And then another thing we should test would be the toe. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the toe. I'm going to move the toe up. And you can see the toe as it flexes, it's bending the back of the heel. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to leave the toe up in its most extreme pose here. And I will move the leg out so it's easier for me to see. I'm going to paint and make sure that the back of the ankle is not affected by the toe. So shift, grab the skin, go into the skin weights. I'm on my left leg here, so I'm going to go up, make sure on my left foot, and then this one's the left toe. So here's the left toe. If I look here, there shouldn't be any painted back here, so I'm going to just clear any of these off. Go up to the foot. You can see the foot has some of the heel back here. I'm going to paint this off. And as I do that, you can see it's adjusting. If you don't see it adjusting, you're probably on the wrong bone. And remember, I'm not painting the face, I'm painting toward the vertex. That looks really good. And if I come out and I move this, it flexes the toe, but it does not flex the heel. Okay, I'll set that back to 0. Set this back to 0. I'm going to try mirroring. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the body, come up to skin, come down to mirror skin weight options. We should be in YZ, and we should be positive to negative. And then closest to joint should be good. We'll hit mirror. And then I'll just take a look at the right leg here and see if everything's the way it should be. And you can see the mirror did a pretty good job. There's no flexing back here on the heel. Set that back to 0. And then for the hip on the leg, when we flex the leg up, I'm going to go ahead and hit 5 just so we can kind of see. As we are bringing the leg up, you can see this bends into the body. We want to try to reduce some of that. So I'm going to go keep the leg up here. I'm going to hold and select shift here to get the body as well. Jump into the skin weights. And I want to give a little bit of more control in this area to this spine or pelvis joint. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that's going to flex. So I'm going to come up to the pelvis. You can see the pelvis controls some of the area over here. I'm going to come down to the add option. come down to our value. I'm going to do a value of 0.1. You can go smaller or larger if you like, but every time you paint, it's going to add 0.1 to this area, and then the maximum is 1. Okay, so 1 would be 100%, 0 is still 0. And you'll see as I start to paint here, you will see that this becomes more influenced by the pelvis joint. So I'm going to come down and just paint a little bit, paint it back here. Adjust my brush size a little. If you hold down this, and if you hold down the Shift key, you can smooth some of this value. I don't like the way that went, so I'm going to just put it back. I'm going to go ahead and hit Q. It's a little pointy on the chest, but we'll try fixing that in just a minute. Let's flex the leg, move this down, and that's a little bit better. Make sure you take some care and make it perfect. I don't want to spend too much time on the video, but just go ahead and just move the leg, make sure that you're getting good flex, and it's not being weird. Set that back to 0, and I will try mirroring my skin weights. So I'll grab the body, skin, mirror options. And then I'll just hit mirror again. Let's see this side. And that came out a little bit better. Set that back to 0. And I think that will do it for this video. In the next one, we'll go ahead and clean up the shoulder and the upper chest area. So stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Also, we are at 1,500 subscribers. Woo! That is awesome possum. Rocket Flip is out if you have not taken a look at my latest devlog. It is in open beta testing, so if you want to grab a copy and test it out, see how it plays, leave some feedback, it really helps me out. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you next time.